Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your June 2019 reading. This is a general reading, so it won't resonate with everybody, but please take what you can and discard the rest, because somewhere out there, it just might resonate with some Sagittarians. So just taking that and bearing that in mind when we're doing the reading here at this point in time. So I hope you've all well, and that May treated you well. Can't believe that we're already in June. That's blooming unreal, isn't it? We're going through this year very, very quickly, and I think that's quite normal, actually. So thank you to everyone too, by the way, for liking, subscribing, sharing my channel. It is absolutely appreciated. It is amazing. So thanks so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get on to your June 2019 reading, Sagittarius. Let's have a look. What's the overall energy? Oh, beautiful. We've got the nine of Pentacles coming up. Now, this could mean in a couple of different areas, so that you're nearly there regarding your finances. It also can mean you're getting your finances independently too. You can be very, very independent in your decisions about finances. It also can represent being single. So just taking that into account, that's the overall energy. We're going to have a look what else is around there too. You have the King of Pentacles. Really nice card. You've got the King of Swords. You have the Five of Wands. Sorry about that. You might be able to, yep, okay, I'm just moving those over. You've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, the Queen of Cups. You've got the Nine of Wands. You have the Seven of Cups. You've got the Two of Cups, and you have the Page of Swords. Very interesting that this is all coming up, because when I'm seeing this spread, to me, this is actually coming out, and what Spirit's bringing forward, the messages that are bringing forward, is that you may have actually had to battle two people here. It's not necessarily about finances. This can also go to communication. It can go to love. There's lots of cups in this reading. There's lots of swords in here too. There is a little bit of a battle here going on, but we're going to go through it anyway. So King Midas, I like to call him, the King of Pentacles. You could be dealing with a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus in this instance. So when we're looking at this, it's a very earthly person you may be dealing with. It doesn't necessarily have to be gender specific, but you may have been dealing with this person. But then the the King of Swords comes through, and you may be having to deal with an air sign. So there might have been a little bit of a tussle, which is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So you may have actually had to find that you were having inner conflict regarding two people here. So there is an indication too, because of the Two of Cups here, you may have had to make a decision, particularly when it does come to love. So you may have had a battle, an internal conflict regarding these two people. And you're sitting there going, well, hang on a minute. Which one of these people are basically, or should I invest in? Should I sit back and actually grow with this person? You know, which one would be better? And I know that sounds very fickle, but it's not meant to be. But you know what? We all have to find out who would be perhaps better suited to us. And, you're learning about them. You've learnt about them, and maybe, just maybe, you didn't even want to go with both of them. So, you're just sitting here going, okay, because this is about learning, and it can be about study too. So taking that into consideration here. The Two of Swords indicates a decision. You may have blocked both of them, but it's about not seeing here what you wanted to see, or maybe not seeing what you should have seen as well. So making your decision. Queen of Cups comes around, and it talks about, the love, the nurturing. This is a beautiful card. But she does indicate that sometimes she can get a little bit funny with her emotions too. Being very standoffish. So, this is something that you may have had to consider, not necessarily you as a female. So just taking that as an option there. Nine of Wands comes in and it says, yep, you're tired. Probably tired of the fighting, probably tired of the fact that you had to decide perhaps over, two people in this regard. And maybe, it says don't give up, but just keep on going with your battles. But maybe it is something saying that, okay, you know what, you had to make this decision. It may be one of the hardest decisions that you've had to make, but please don't give up on yourself. Know that you've made the right decision. Know that you are going through the right decision, because when the Seven of Cups comes in and it says there's lots of opportunities, it can mean a little bit of confusion. So you may have found yourself a little bit confused, particularly over these, two people here that you have there. And in the end, with the overall energy being the Nine of Pentacles, overall saying, well, you know what, I'd rather be single than put up with these dickheads. But anyway, just so don't think it is, I'm having a go at the male folk here, because I'm not. Two of Cups comes in and says, now, this is a soulmate card, but it also, because it's a number 2 as well, it can see you making a decision over love. Maybe one was, pretty cool. The other one, you don't want to deal with. But then in the end, you may have thought that, hey, I'd just rather be single. Because at the end of the day, you've had communication with them. You've sorted out truths have come out. So you've had a discussion with them. And you may have found yourself, look, hey, they may have been quite deceiving in perhaps the way that they wanted to be with you too. So that's very important to take note of. That communication that you have with someone or some people will be very important. So that can come through email, text, messages, those types of things, hearing from them. But it's also about deceiving. It can be about you keeping an eye on them, or they may be keeping an eye on you. Okay, so just watching what you're doing, getting a little bit of info here, a little bit of background. Maybe they knew too much about you, and maybe you just turned around and gone, well, hang on a minute, I don't want to deal with this. This is a little bit personal. You don't know me that well. But, in saying that, there is a good indication. I don't see this as really bad, actually, to tell the honest truth here, Sagittarius. The fact being is that you've made a good decision. And you probably had to, because you know what? Looking after yourself, self-care, knowing what you deserve too, particularly that conflict here, knowing what you deserve, particularly with the Queen of Cups, knowing what you deserve has, put you in that position of sitting there going, well, I have to make up my mind here. I have to sit there and look at the options, weigh up the options. Are they worth it? And this is where the decisions are coming forward for you too. So it's about looking at people, perhaps from a different angle, different perspective, finding out whether, do I want to invest my time in this person or these people? So, you're quite independent by the looks here. So it is indicating that maybe you'll just end up staying single. But that's not a bad thing. Sometimes we just have to, make these decisions. Sometimes it can cause a lot of conflict. You may have found that these two people have been fighting over you too. So don't discount that one. Popular. So this is really good. I'm going to give you an extra message from Spirit here too, which is lovely. Now, this is very interesting. This card, I have shuffled that bloody deck so often, because I do try and pre-shuffle a little bit before, as well as shuffling them on camera so that you can see that I do. This has come up nearly for everybody. Look deep within. Know that Spirit is guiding you to the right direction. Do what feels right in your spirit. Go along with what you feel, and let these decisions, let the universe guide you to make these decisions too. Look deep within, because Spirit's got some messages for you regarding, and I very well dare say it is regarding your love life. There are some beautiful stuff that you've had to decide on, but it is coming out saying, hey, listen, stand in your power. This card really talks about knowing your worth. So it is saying that perhaps that you've had to make a decision over a couple of people and really finding out what you're worth, whether these people are worthy of your time, your investment. So it is looking really good. There's lots of clarity coming here, particularly when we get the swords coming into a reading as well. So you will know in the end, and you will make the right decision, whether that means being single or just sitting there going, hang on a minute, I need some time out. I need to take a bit of reflective attitude here, and let me, talk to Spirit, let the universe guide me on making a decision about, these inner conflicts here. I hope you have a wonderful June, Sagittarius. All the very best, and I will talk to you soon.